Bader Gymnasium for today's game. 2019 Winter Basketball Championship game between the Westwood Wolverines and the Foxborough Warriors. We'll listen in to Taylor Alessi.
Establishing a healthy environment for competition. We will not tolerate any negative statements or actions towards competitors, game officials, or fans in attendance. Please be respectful of all of those in attendance and enjoy the game. Now for the starting lineups for the Foxborough Warriors. Number 1, Brandon Ford. Number 2, Donald Rogers. Number 4, Dylan Barrera. Number 5, Ryan Hughes. Number 11, Kevin Gallagher, coached by John Gibbs. Now, your Westwood Wolverines. Number 3, Pat Riley.
Pat Riley there for the starting lineup. Jack Turgeon, the senior captain. James McGowan, also a captain, junior. Johnny Ing. You guessed it, another captain, senior. And Connor Ninelli, the junior. Westwood is coached by Steve St. Martin, assisted by Ryan Douglas, Pat Lee, Matt Scully, and Westwood is also assisted by Jack Kiley. Tyler Murkowski, Dylan Perkins on the call tonight. No place we'd rather be.
No. Championship basketball here.
It really is. So just going through some notes. Westwood went into the tournament as a 1-1 team that just lost to another TBL team, Medfield. And they beat Hingham, who was 3-0 at the time of the tournament started, and they're actually now 3-2. So
yeah, Hingham had a tough tournament.
Yeah, a tough tournament for Hingham. Could not have gone much worse. Foxborough's 2-1. The only team they lost to was Taunton, 58-52 the final. And they beat Needham yesterday after it really was a close start of the game, and then they really pulled away towards the end of it.
Foxborough wins the tip, and Westwood will start with their man set, as they normally do. Brandon Board takes to the rim and
good defense by Jack Turgeon.
Riley with it. Swing to number 4, Turgeon. Jack will now set up the offense.
Turgeon finds Riley right side.
Screen from John
with
A.
the left. Nice roll. And it's 2.
Maybe gets away with a little walk there.
Yeah, I thought so maybe, but
2 and a jump, they say.
It's one of those things with the ref is in the moment is that a travel. It's easy to look back at it and say, well, is it not? McGowan comes the other way with it, puts it up and in for 2. Now we're going the other way with Brandon Board and a travel. It's on Donald Rogers, the senior, and we've been calling these games all last night, basically. They're all the same, obviously. But the same key players for both teams. So I have to ask you, game 1, who was the MVP for Westwood?
Westwood is very well-rounded as a unit. But if I had to pick one player, I think it'd be junior captain James McGowan, as John Ing gets sandwiched by 2 Foxborough defenders. And he Little upset he didn't get a call there. But yeah, I think for Westwood it'd be number 14, junior captain James McGowan, and for Foxborough it'd be number 1, senior captain Brandon Board, who really set himself apart as Foxborough's best player.
Absolutely.
We got a
6
screen
seconds
from
on the
John
30-second
here.
shot clock.
Swing ball. James has to shoot now. Will get his own rebound. Riley, open 3.
So a 7-0 start for Westwood. Pat Riley for 3. And we're going the other way. 6:24 go. 1:30 gone.
You give Pat an open 3 and he won't.
And a charge.
John Ing will draw a charge.
Set up nicely there.
Oh yeah, he
and
was.
it's on Berea.
You could see it all day.
And we saw Westwood start yesterday down 6-0. We were like, wow, this game, this team really is the same since that Medfield game, and they proved us completely wrong.
Yeah. They turned it up in the third quarter. They made their adjustments as any good team would. As James gets an open 3, he'll hit it.
A dribble handoff 3, a double-digit lead for Westwood. They start off in the first minute and 55 seconds, up 10-0. What more could you ask?
Out of the Westwood team, nothing. They've hit. They haven't missed a shot. They've hit all their 3s. James out to a good start for Westwood. He's got 5 of their 10 points.
So we'll see how the Foxborough defense responds here, but a good start from Westwood. So,
got a nice crowd tonight, huh?
Yeah, we'll pan through the crowd. The student section filling up.
Yeah, students generally show up, kind of first quarter, second quarter, maybe, it's at its maximum occupancy kind of at halftime. And third quarter, fourth quarter gets rowdy, and if we're lucky enough to have an overtime period, then we get one. And the student section, or we all call it the den here, can get rowdy, but they're mostly under control. I would like to think so.
So Foxborough with the ball on the inbound.
It's nice to have that home court advantage though for Westwood.
Practice here, play here.
Well, and we're always all supportive of the team. I can't think of a year that we haven't been out there.
So Gallagher finds Berea on the drive.
Good swing
Board.
pass. Strong pass from Board there.
Gallagher, right side, right hand.
Good
I thought
block
Pat
from
got
Pat.
all arm, and he knows it too, and the ref blows the whistle on the late call.
It looked like Gallagher lost the ball as he was trying to go for like that one-handed scoop. You see players like Steph and James Harden do those circus shots, and they make it look easy. But if you go up with it with no protection, you're not no body, no shoulder. He'll hit the first.
And they would say that he would go up with the right hand there and lose possession of the ball, but still count it as a shooting free throw.
Yeah. Foxborough seems to have more people in their student. Give him student
Oh
section.
yeah, look at that. All the way from Foxborough.
As Gallagher hits both.
So the Warriors are on the board, coached by John Gibbs. 3 McGowan catch is good.
He's something from three-point land. As Westwood now is 3 of 3 for the night beyond the arc.
Board on the drive. Good help there by Daniele. Forces Rogers left. Gallagher on the top. Right side goes right by McGowan. Puts it up and is short. James gets the rebound.
Center John Ing tried to step in there and kind of jam his hip in to get a charge, but and it threw Gallagher off.
Yeah, it's the mental part of the game right there.
It is. When you see after one charge is drawn, the team that had it is always more conscious of kind of getting into the lane. Because, and Coach St. Martin is very diligent about having his team train for charges, because charges are great momentum shifters, as Daniele gets marked for
an illegal screen on Connor Daniele.
Yeah, you have to plant your feet when you set a screen. They give it a moving screen, and the NBA has perfected the moving screen, but this is not the NBA. This is high school ball.
Kevin Garnett is not here.
Kevin Garnett is not here.
Inside for Foxborough. I thought that was clean defense by Daniele. 2 of the refs disagree. And he picks up 2 fouls.
Daniele picks up a quick 2, and
here comes 6-man Jimmy Bean.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was Coach St. Martin here, I'd take him out.
You want to get him out. I mean, 3 minutes in, just over 3 minutes in, and Daniele gets 2, I'd consider cheap fouls. I think the screen was illegal, and that foul was a little bit on the debatable side.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more there. I think Daniele was marked for 2 fouls that could have really gone no calls and been fair.
Board controlling it on the top. Gallagher 40 feet away from the basket. Probably like 30.
Board
40 was a little bit much there.
guarded by Ing.
Berea for 3. He missed. Rebounded by John Ing.
John has strong rebounds constantly, and he always has control of where he's throwing and shooting the ball.
Turgeon, Bean, McGowan, left side, right hand. Dribbles through the middle, crossover dribble, snaps it, and turns it over. Looking for Jimmy Bean. Jimmy gets it back.
You can see the collapse there. James McGowan's open in the corner, and you don't get if you're James, you got to be frustrated because James gets not many open shots, and if you get it to him, then he's gonna hit it.
Turgeon back on the top, coming from Riley. Finds McGowan on the top, 12 on the 30. McGowan, he checked 3, and he got it. 9 from McGowan, 11?
11
from McGowan early. 11 of 16.
He's found his groove. James is in a groove.
Good help there by Pat, and it's rebounded by Riley himself. McGowan wearing the Kyrie Irving SpongeBob edition shoes.
Great shoes. Riley
missed travel.
Riley might have gotten away with an up and down there.
Turgeon, there we go.
Jack doesn't make a lot of mistakes, so it's rare to see him make one. Jack's very conscious about what he does.
So again, if you're just joining us, this is the 2019 Winter Holiday Invitational at Bader Gymnasium. The annual tournament, Westwood invites teams here. They play it out, and then Westwood won yesterday, as did Foxborough. Riley coming the other way, left side, right hand, looking for the foul, and gets the roll on the rim. Just enough force on that ball for it to drop.
Yeah, Westwood out to a really early, strong lead.
Really good start. 16 the difference, 18-2, under 3 minutes, and Foxborough is really messing up, and it will be a timeout. Foxborough. Coach.
That's their second timeout. They have to be frustrated after that because, you make a timeout, you call a timeout, and you want them to adjust. You want your team to adjust. As a coach, you want your team to adjust and make plays, and, Foxborough hasn't. They haven't done that.
So I think the real story right now is McGowan in 5 minutes getting 11 points.
Yeah, he found his. They call it a shooting stroke. You found your stroke. You found your rhythm. He's got a lot of rhythm right now, and if I'm the Westwood team or Coach Damar, and I draw up a couple plays for McGowan because he is feeling himself right now. You said that heat check 3 earlier, and he's feeling it. I don't see why you don't give him the ball. Westwood's going to continue with their stellar defense. They've sized up senior captain number 1 Brandon Board pretty well so far. He was the Foxborough standout yesterday. He had 20-plus points, and they were almost all around the rim, if my memory serves. So he's gonna be the X factor for Foxborough here, and if Riley or Ing or Turgeon, whoever's guarding him, and that's why Westwood is so versatile because they can guard all 5 positions.
So this is great scoring by Westwood so far. Bean gets tied up with number 2 for Foxborough, Donald Rogers, senior, and Westwood will retain possession off the Needham on the Foxborough 1 tip. Lots of towns here, folks.
Yeah, it is. Westwood will get a box setup, and inbound will go to MJ. Mark James.
McGowan, this is a true heat check, and he missed that one. About time.
Yeah, it looked like he faded. He faded on the shot a little bit. I mean, that was a deep shot, but
Jimmy Bean tried to draw the charge there. Comes to no avail on the call.
No, that was a good no call by the ref. Jimmy didn't get his feet set in time, and Rogers didn't plow him over. I don't know how to kind of describe that, but he didn't make him fall. It wasn't his judgment. It was the
Jimmy gets caught in midair there.
It was
McGowan
by himself.
The spin. Jimmy in the corner. 10 on the 30-second shot clock. Jimmy on the drive, puts it up and in for 2 across the baseline. Had to be thinking about the dunk there.
Yeah, Jimmy probably was, but wasn't gonna commit to it because of the defense on the inside.
Mike Reardon getting early minutes here, and
Reardon forced that.
A little bit.
He had a nice little, 8-10 foot jumper there.
Mike is known to be a very unselfish player, and
Sometimes too unselfish.
Yeah. Take your fair share of shots.
Both of us being unselfish players, that's just kind of a pass that's forced, and you're trying to do too much.
Yep. Oh, Jimmy gets a little bit too antsy there. Called for the foul. Foxborough side out.
Good defense. Good MJ. His hand is in the passing
That was
lane.
Will Morrison. Now it's Board again. Rogers on the catch.
Westwood switching out.
Will Morrison a 3. Did he play yesterday? Will Morrison?
No, Morrison did not. That'll be Westwood.
It'll be Westwood ball.
Coach St. Martin calling some plays and
So
sets from the sideline.
MJ will be running the point guard. McGowan being a shooting guard currently. Riley at the 3. It's a small line of 4. Westwood. Mike Reardon at the 5. And it's an illegal screen on Michael Reardon. The second called illegal screen for Westwood.
That's not on Reardon, which is unfortunate because
It was on Jimmy?
No. The foul is on Reardon, but it's not his fault. It's not Reardon's fault.
He almost got pulled into it in a way.
Yeah, he did. They say shoulder to hip. I don't know if you've heard that, right? On screens.
Ooh. McGowan goes down and a nice 2 there.
McGowan wanted to push and he did not. He got pushed off.
MJ under a minute now. Mike Reardon on the inside. And a foul on Liam Devlin. Johnny will come in for Reardon.
Reardon is making a bunch of mistakes right now, and Coach St. Martin is not happy.
51 6/10 to go here in the first quarter.
Westwood baseline.
MJ in the inside. Jimmy Bean gets fouled. No travel.
That's tough.
Whenever you hear that double whistle, it's usually a violation.
Yeah, it is. That's I don't speak ref, but that's how they communicate. See if this Westwood defense holds true. MJ. Board.
Brandon Board. Oh, there's a block on Jimmy if he fell. Kept alive and rejected, and that was off the tip.
Nice block there from John Ing, and really kept it in play.
Ing denies Donald Rogers. MJ coming down the court. Finds that cutting in, can't get it there. Shot clock does not reset. It's basically even shot in game, a few tenths of a second. Riley dribble, step back 3, way off.
Shot clock will turn off. Foxborough has 10 seconds to get a quality shot here. Will they? This Westwood defense is holding.
Kevin Gallagher, they find Board, corner 3, rejected by MJ. 2 seconds. McGowan will get a full court shot off. There it is. And it's off. So after 1 quarter, Westwood comes out to a really sharp start. 18 points in 5 minutes, and then they scored 2 in the last 3. But nothing you complain about as a Westwood fan. Up 16 after 8 minutes, still 24 to go. So anyone's game.
No, yeah, absolutely. Westwood's come out really hot, and their defense is holding. Westwood is always known for their man defense, and I've never heard them switch to zone. I've never seen them. I've never heard of. St. Martin is very adamant about keeping the man defense sharp and the rotations, and that you see that working on practice.
Absolutely. So again, we have Westwood up by 16. If you're just joining us, this is the 2019 Westwood Holiday Invitational Tournament. Consisted of 4 teams: Needham and Hingham, who played the consolation game earlier. Foxborough beat Needham yesterday, as Westwood beat Hingham yesterday. So they played, and Needham came out victorious there, but we're more focused on this game now. So the championship game of the 2019 Holiday Invitational Tournament. And we look to see how Westwood really comes back in the second quarter. They can't allow Foxborough to get momentum. I think that would be the turning point in this game, is if they did allow it.
Yeah, if Westwood can keep a double-digit lead going into the half, it's going to be key for them coming out in the third quarter, because Westwood is, a lot of great teams are known for their third quarter or after break adjustments.
Morrison to Devlin, loses the handle. MJ in transition. Pat Riley in the corner, MJ. Swing to Jimmy Bean. Bean looking. 16 on the shot clock. John Ing brings it out, finds Pat Riley on the handoff.
Good screen.
Riley on the screen.
Mismatch.
Ing rolls. No communication there. It's the small things in basketball that make teams pay.
Is.
Riley
5 to shoot.
to Bean. Jimmy with 3. Jimmy with 2. The step back. Thought about it. Goes into Ing with 1 second left on the shot clock. Puts it up and in. A true 30-second possession for Westwood, and it turns off and it pays off.
Yeah, John. It was really quick. He kind of did a high release. He didn't have full control, and he's got that nice touch to put it in.
Absolutely. Number 14 for Michael Devlin in the corner for Foxborough. McGowan D'd up nicely.
Rogers.
This is Donald Rogers, D'd up by MJ, and MJ just gets a little bit too lenient with the arm and comes down.
I like how you demonstrated it for me.
I'm always on the visual aspect of things.
You are. You're a very visual learner. Unfortunately for Westwood, Foxborough will be in the bonus for the rest of this half.
Okay. That's the one thing that they've done wrong. They have 6 fouls, so it would be 1-1 on the next.
Yeah, well, Foxborough's struggling to hit free throws, so I don't see how it's nice rotation there by James to pick up the steal. But, yeah, they're struggling to stay clean. James gets a clean look,
and hits.
And he'll drill it.
James McGowan on the dribble, step back, and then the 3.
He's got 15
It's now a 21-point difference. McGowan leading with 15.
4 of 4 from three-point
4 or 5.
land. 4 or 5. You're right. Nice.
Riley on the steal in transition. Riley a 2-on-3 break. The pull-up is no good, and it's rebounded. Attempted rebound by Jimmy Bean, goes flying for it. We saw last night he took out someone in the den.
He did. He took out a couple of fans,
yes.
Namely people who are standing and on the side and not paying attention. Yeah. Poor Rhea just got trampled.
Great defense by MJ, and there'll be a travel.
There'd be
that's a terrible call.
So
here's the thing with the jump ball. A ball will be on the ground for 2 seconds, and they won't call anything tied up between both teams. But then you look at these plays where both teams have hands on the ball in midair, and they call a jump. So is it 3 seconds, or is it when both teams have contact?
It's a judgment call. Jump balls are completely judgment calls. At a certain point, it's not. But if the ball's rolling the ground 1-2 seconds, it's the ref's judgment call to see if it's going to create, if anything's going to create, and either team's going to give.
MJ all the way to the hoop, left side, left hand for 2, and the lead for Westwood is now 23. Who saw this coming?
I'm sure Westwood did.
Berea trying to get it back. Riley D'd up nicely. Kevin Gallagher 4-3. It's true.
Gallagher has all the Foxborough points currently. He's got.
Does he really? 7?
He does. He's got 2 free throws, a field goal, and a 3-point shot. Screen from Ing coming on the right.
Pat Riley. Jimmy Bean finds John Ing, gets ran into, no call. MJ fakes a 3 on the drive, finds Bean free throw line just behind it, puts it up, no good. And it's rebounded by Kevin Gallagher.
Westwood's ball movement was really good in that possession. They had a clean look from the free throw line, which they generally hit, and Gallagher hits another.
Gallagher heat check. And Coach St. Martin not happy with the defense on Gallagher. Michael Devlin D'ing up MJ. Mark James finds Jimmy Bean. Bean right side with the right hand. Riley on the skip. Bean, MJ. 12 on the shot clock.
Got a little bit.
Instead of Ing, they find the cutting MJ up and under for 2, and they practice that every single practice. The up and under layups, and there it pays off.
Yeah, Liam Devlin for Foxborough, number 20, got away with a little bit of a push.
I thought so
John
too.
Ing.
Yeah,
he was kind of moving with his hips.
McGowan with some nice defense, and Ing.
Tough call from John Ing there for John. John looked like he was up and down, and the ref called him for it.
So we want to thank our sponsors, the Vanderbilt Club and Nord Physical Therapy, the Westwood Media Center. If you just joined us for the 2019 Westwood Holiday Invitational Tournament, Tyler Barossi joined by Dylan Perkins, as the first free throw is no good. 4:25 to go here in the second quarter. Westwood 29, Foxborough 10.
Pat Riley will take a seat, and number 10, senior Dan Delore, will check in for him.
So McGowan has played the whole game so far. That's the only player for Westwood I can think of or see. MJ on the drive. The floater is good. Mark James with a quick 6 points.
He's heating up.
It's all in the lane. He's still playing very unselfishly. Great basketball from MJ. 14 for Foxborough, 3. So it's a situation where Foxborough will get free throws. So the 3 is good for Michael Devlin, so it could be a 5-point play.
John Ing will get his second foul here. And did they call the basket?
Oh, so it'll be...
Basketball would be good. Would the basket be good? I can't tell. This is
so the basket is counted.
Made 3-pointer.
Now they're going to shoot 1-on-1. So I said this is the rare potential for a 5-point play. So 4:04 to go here in the second quarter. 31-13. Westwood on top by 18. And the only flaw has been fouls, and they already have 8.
Yeah, they do. It's gonna haunt them for the rest of this half.
It very much could, even though you need 5 to foul out. Players will go in cautiously, following. They'll cautiously play, and that will lower their aggression. And then you also have the side of it where they won't go in at all in reserves for the final moments where they can use that last foul or two and not be punished for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So Danny Delory will be inbounding to Mark James. Shot clock's not on, clock's not moving. There we go. MJ to Delory. Screen comes from Jimmy Bean. Delory draws the double, Reardon on the top, finds MJ in the corner.
Baseline
MJ
drive.
again driving, and it's a block on Dylan Berea. MJ kind of ran out of bounds holding the ball. He was like, is it out of bounds or is there a foul? And the ref goes, it was a blocking foul, and he's completely right.
The ref, they couldn't find. The refs were, they had a difficult call to make.
MJ with a very smart basketball play there.
Cerebral play from Mark James.
When you get those large words out of Perk, you know something good happened. MJ in the corner with it.
Having fun here.
Right side, left hand. Dishes it to Bean on the top. 20 on the 30-second shot clock. Bean to Mike Reardon. Bean, corner 3, catch, no. Rebounded by Berea.
Jimmy's not known as a shooter particularly, so I'm kind of surprised he took that.
James McGowan leading the 2-on-3 break, pulls it out. You know he wants the heat check. Gallagher on him nicely. Delory on the catch, thought about the 3 on the drive. Pass Berea, puts it up, no good, rebounded.
Dan might have gotten away with travel there. I don't know if you saw that, but he kind of shuffled his feet before he took a dribble.
And it could have been a push-off there on Berea. I mean, we're just nitpicking the calls at this point.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Could have been a travel on Gallagher there.
Good rotation from Bean. Cutting the block pass off.
MJ with hands on him, no good, and it's rebounded by Rogers. Again, this is the championship game. All the marbles in this game. Gallagher pushes off McGowan, puts up the 3, no good, and Reardon doesn't box out. It's rebounded by Ryan Hughes and
deflection.
Stolen.
McGowan pushing
off the
tempo
deflection.
Here.
McGowan off the dribble. 3 is no good, rebounded. Jimmy's all over it, and Rogers secures the rebound.
Jimmy's cool. Not Jimmy. McGowan has cooled off. Dan got turned around there.
Yeah, so I bet here are my 2 guesses for subs. Trojan for McGowan, and I'd put in, or I'm not going to say I'd put in Riley actually for Mike Reardon and make Jimmy play the 5. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know if you can do that yet because that would be, I think, a little too small. Generally, when you play small lineups, you have.
So it's MJ. Yeah, all right, 0 for 2. 0 for 2.
Dan had a tough call there.
So McGowan's been on the floor for nearly 14 minutes. Along with his board has been out. I think everyone's been out.
Yeah, his board. I think board needed a break. He played the majority of the first quarter.
Yeah. So Will Morrison will be shooting 2.
Senior captain for Foxborough. He'll get both. Westwood's lead now shrunk to 14. A little under 2.5.
And we were talking about it last game, too. You get out to these large leads, and it's more against, we're talking about weaker teams, but then you play down to their level and allow them to come back. And you're less disciplined than if it was a tie game or you were losing.
Yeah. momentum is shifting here for Foxborough. And
yeah,
that
McGowan gets the ball taken away. Board. This is Ryan Hughes. Reardon kicks it.
This is not soccer. That was just, unfortunately thrown off of the shin of Mike Reardon. We have 2 and change to go here in the half, Tyler. Westwood needs to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, they do. They can't go by the bend not break at this point in the game. It's too early. McGowan D'ing up Morrison. And a nice play there. Berea gets 2. 12 the difference. Timeout. White. Coach. So a comeback quarter here for Foxborough. Do you know the numbers on how many points they've scored this quarter?
15.
15. Okay.
It was 20-4, 22-4. It might have been 12. I'm sorry. The quarter ended at 24-7, 25-7, and Westwood's hit kind of a scoring lull here. They have yet to get a bucket, and when in doubt, and you need a bucket, the person to go to for Westwood is going to be James McGowan.
I'd say so, and I also say Pat Riley's right there with him.
Yeah.
McGowan to the ball taken away from him, and a missed 3. We'll see if he comes out after this timeout. Coach St. Martin and some good talks with the players right now. The Den has risen.
Yeah, it has.
Any point totals we have?
McGowan has 15 for Westwood. MJ has 6. Those are the scoring leaders for Westwood. For Foxborough, it is Kevin Gallagher with 10. And no other notable scoring leaders for Foxborough. Everybody's got 2, 3, 4 points. The Den has now risen. I don't know if you can see that, but
as I said as well.
Yeah. Oh, you're more
observant.
Observant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turgeon off the dribble. McGowan calling for the ball. Gets it on the top. Still at that red line. That sits around like a 28-foot mark.
He hits that in practice constantly, though.
Well, there's not famous, but I don't know what year it was. Tim Giovino in the playoffs hit a 3 from back there to tie up the game.
Yeah, Tim in the house tonight.
Is he?
Well, yes, Tim is in the house tonight. He's kind of like a Westwood.
2 seconds. Turgeon has to throw it up with a prayer.
Westwood basketball legend. Timmy buckets for a reason. It's tough for us to bounce back from Tim's year. Tim's year had a bunch of, I don't know, I want to say 8 or 9 seniors that graduated. That was a great year. They led us on a bunch of state tournament runs.
McGowan's closeout is too late. Will Morrison, the captain, makes him pay. And now we're looking at a 9-point game, which was once, I believe, 20. Turgeon with it. The screen comes from Brad Nelson. Turgeon draws a double team. Riley. Right side left hand, just stood off the Bean. Bean coming across the middle. Great defense by Foxborough. Bean gets kind of captured and throws it away. Momentum going in the half. Would you consider it being a big deal?
Yeah, definitely. It's how much confidence you have. It's coming out the half amped and ready to go, ready to play, or is it coming out trying to recover and stop stop the bleeding? Board on the left-hand drive.
So 11 different shot in game, and Board gets an easy lefty layup for 2.
His first point.
7 is the difference.
Shot clock
31-24. Shot clock is off. 14 with Turgeon crossing the logo current.
Westwood's going to hold the ball here and get the best shot.
McGowan with it with 6. McGowan pull-up is rejected by Berea. 4 seconds, 3 seconds is with Board. 2 with Board. Board, a half-court shot at absolute soccer throw-in is no good. So a turn of events, which makes this game a whole lot more interesting.
It does.
So Westwood was killing Foxborough at the end of the first quarter. I'll get the numbers for that when we come back from halftime. And now we're looking at a very close game. 7 the difference with 16 to play. 31-24. You're watching the 2019 Winter Invitational Tournament on the Westwood Media Center. Welcome back into Bader Gymnasium for the second half of action. Westwood against the Foxborough Warriors. Again, Tyler Markovsky joined by Dylan Perkins here a big win for Westwood last night. James McGowan leading scorers with 16 points, Pat Riley with 13, and Connor Daniele with a astounding 15 rebounds, 10 defensive, 5 offensive.
Yeah, he's been Daniele's been a key defensive factor for Westwood, just showing that height.
Absolutely. So this horn you were about to hear will end the warm-ups. And we go right into the third quarter here from Bader Gymnasium in Westwood. So here we go. Dylan, one thing Westwood has to do early.
I think it's get their score as the basketball. I think that's simplified, but if you get clean looks for shooters like Riley and McGowan, and you get inside layups for your bigs like Daniele, Reardon, and Captain John Ing, I think they'll have success. Their defense is kind of lacked, I would say, in the last.
The momentum completely shifted. That's what happened.
In the latter half of the.
Yeah, certainly in the latter. Yeah, exactly.
The latter part of the first half.
So here we go, 16 minutes of basketball coming right at you here on the Westwood Media Center. McGowan nicely seals it off. Does the steal go to Ing or McGowan there? Just curious.
Yeah.
It's tough because McGowan picked it up, got possession, but Ing made it happen. So
I think that's McGowan's steal.
So Westwood's going to slow it down here, run a little bit of a play, and they can't. There's a third illegal screen for this game, and we were talking about it yesterday. The offensive fouls go on a team foul basis, but if it is the bonus there, it's confusing, but they're not counted.
Yeah.
And Berea gets into the lane, and they call a blocking foul on John Ing. Yeah. I agree with the call.
I also do. If John had gotten there a half second earlier, I think he would have gotten the charge. He was just too late. But quick 2 fouls for Westwood here in the first 30 seconds. It's tough. And
that's John Ing's third already, 21 with 3.
It's tough. It's tough for especially one of your really big impact players to have 3 fouls really early in the second half.
So Berea
missing
both, and it's undisciplined rebound. Okay, Westwood got it back. Ryan Hughes had his hand on it for a second. Riley, Westwood needs to control the offense here, slow it down a little bit. They did like the first what do you call it, like a play? Possession, there you go. Turgeon with it, the screen comes by McGowan. Daniele in the corner with it, around the 3-point line. He's not a threat from out there. Riley on the dribble handoff, between the legs dribble, getting around board to Turgeon on the side. Daniele with 3 on the shot clock. Daniele with 2. 1 the move, and it's a travel. Did I see the travel? No.
I did. He did not establish a pivot foot.
So a little bit of the 1-2 action before the complete jump stop.
Yeah. If he had put 2 foot together, that would have been a clean bucket.
I think that's a fair statement there. A skip pass there, Ryan Hughes. And they don't call a charge. John Ing hits the deck hard on a run-in, and there's a no call. 5's the difference. St. Martin not happy with the officials.
Yeah, no, that was clearly a charge. There was no ball movement involved in the charge, so the refs kind of took their eye off of it. And the jump ball.
So Daniele loses possession, and we've entered a dogfight, and I'd almost deem this crunch time.
I wouldn't go there yet. It's a little early for that.
It is, yeah.
Westwood needs a basket quick.
They need to shift the momentum. Daniele puts it up and is in for 2. Since McGowan's quick 14 in the 11 in the 5 minutes, he's only had 3 more. I just see better defense on him as teams will learn throughout the season as the season progresses. He is a threat from outside, yes.
James?
Yes.
Really? Couldn't imagine.
Board playing bully ball, and
it'll be Foxborough ball.
It'll be Foxborough ball off McGowan's head.
Board has that like brute strength that just plays to his advantage. It's tough to defend against that, you know.
Yeah, Board is Riley
fronts him, and they haven't. Foxborough yet hasn't use Board in the post, but maybe they're looking to do something like that.
5 on the 30 seconds. Gallagher in the lane. McGowan trailing, no good, and it's rebounded it's out of bounds. Westwood ball.
The crowd getting into it on both sides.
It was one of those grade school rebounds where there's no boxing out happening. Everyone just basically jumps for the ball under the hoop. Not something at the high school level you really want to see. 5:44 to go here in the third quarter. 7 the difference.
It's not something you typically see either.
McGowan with on the right side, left hand, crosses over, finds Daniele. Nearly gets picked off. Daniele the spin, short, and it's rebounded by Ryan Hughes. He is a really solid defender.
Daniele forced that shot. There was nothing there. He had no kind of leverage inside position.
Board is sealed off nicely, and Ryan Hughes. Everyone's seen that miracle shot in their life where it bounces 5 times off the backboard and goes in the hoop. Earlier this year, we actually had a ball settle on the back rim.
That's unique.
Yes.
Never heard that.
What are the odds of that?
You don't see that very often.
Daniele has no room to catch, and it will be a foul. Excellent foul called on the official. Establish a landing space. I don't know. Is that a blocking foul?
I have never seen that ever. Gonna be honest.
It's one of those things where a guy goes up for a 3 and then they have to have room to land. It's that under that same rule. Turgeon left side with the left hand now.
He's so great with both hands. Turgeon's very ambidextrous. Nice cut
Riley on the cut, puts it up, and is good.
Riley's got his 3rd bucket tonight.
Gallagher with it on the right side. Teed up nicely by Turgeon, and he traveled. I think he established that one pivot foot, went with the other, and then dragged back a little bit.
Yeah.
So 4:39 to go here in the third quarter.
You see Jack is how he's their primary ball handler, and he'll when the ball's with him on the top of the key, you know something's coming. You have to know something's coming as Foxborough or any team really.
Turgeon, you see that like once a game, you see that unbelievable move, and it only comes out so often.
Yeah.
He has so much in the back pocket. We said it yesterday when he did close to the same thing. And a nice take there by Board on the answer. Way too easy for Foxborough.
You saw Mark James set up on that for a charge, and Board tried to evade it, and then you see Turgeon with the ball at the top of the key again.
Turgeon, they're looking. McGowan was wide open, and he missed him. Riley inside to Daniele. Daniele backing his way in, dribbles out. Rogers on him. Daniele takes the baseline, finds Turgeon, draws the double. Board on him. Turgeon along the baseline, and that's the problem with. Okay. No, they call it foul. I thought he stepped out. It's the problem with playing baseline ball, though. Eventually, someone's going to lose track of their position on the court, and we get a sub. Will Morrison in for Kevin Gallagher, who, to me, is the MVP for Foxborough today.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer. He's their only scorer over 3 points for Foxborough.
Turgeon finds Riley. Riley in the corner. Dribbles twice with his left hand. Finds MJ. This is a three-pointer on the way. He missed.
Long rebound. Pat will get it.
Hustle plays. Riley dribble. 3. He missed. And it's rebounded by Daniele. Daniele's getting absolutely wrecked by Morrison, and they don't call a foul.
There's no foul there. That looked clean from the outside, but I'm sure that there was some hand fighting that we didn't see.
And they call a blocking foul on Pat Riley.
It's tough to see, and that's tough to call because Board is just so strong, and he's able to get to the rim easier than anybody else. So that'll be Riley's 2nd foul.
You always said that those 2 quick fouls, and now that's the first one since. Board on the first is good.
It's a championship game, and it's going to end up being a good one down to the wire.
Yeah, so 7 is the difference with 3:14 to go here in the third quarter. Westwood on the plus side of that. Turgeon dribbling it up with his left hand. You cannot tell if he's lefty already.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Riley comes along, nothing there. They get it to McGowan. McGowan shrugging and then realizes, the ball's coming to me. McGowan, the step back through the legs, nearly turned over. Shot clock doesn't reset. 10 seconds on it. McGowan at the logo. MJ, left side, left hand. Bullying his way through the middle, and That's the problem. Well, sometimes you get caught up in midair with nothing to do with the ball.
Yeah, you see, you watch that old school Dr. J where he drifts back, like it looks like he drifts the distance of the backboard, but he's got those long arms to reach, but Jack's got to get a shot off here.
Trojan gets rejected, and they're good. So this is for the replay. I don't know if that was off or not.
Unfortunately, we don't have slow-mo replay, but that looks good.
Wow.
Those are those shots you put up in the driveway. And yeah,
it was very close. I mean,
then being vocal about their opinions.
You'd have to think that the ref wouldn't get that one wrong. I mean, he's looking right towards the play, and he's going to hear the sound.
It's a perception call.
Yeah. Only one ref called it, though.
Yeah.
I think when he got the rebound, there was only 1 second left. I didn't really see a way he was going to get it off. Turgeon greatly defended. I thought the ball bounced at it. Yeah, MJ got there a little bit late. He was set when he got ran into.
I don't know. I think that's bogus. I think he got there in time.
Very close.
He didn't take it straight up. He turned his shoulder, and that's what he got the call for.
So Dylan Heinsohn with the analysis.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. Call me a homer. I don't care.
And Donald Rogers will be getting 2 at the free throw line. How many points does Rogers have tonight? It's the first.
That would be his first point.
Okay. I mean, we've called his name a lot for 1 point. I don't know how many he had last night.
He had a bunch last night.
Okay. So Jimmy Beam will be checking in on the next whistle.
Rogers got both.
Will be now. Donald Rogers hits them both. And now 5 is the difference with 2:15 to go here in the third quarter. I mean, either team can really decide the game with this possession, with these possessions coming up. Does Westwood get 6 points on 2 threes? Do they miss them and Foxborough comes in transition? It sets the tone for the fourth quarter, and we've seen it. The start of the fourth quarter has a big implication of where the game ends up.
Yeah. It's momentum in the third quarter.
So Riley gets it into Daniele. Daniele to
using that pivot.
Bean. It was not much happened on that play. Bean.
I didn't really know where he was going with it.
Riley. Still with 20 seconds on the shot clock. MJ, catch, fire,
No,
throw it. He missed.
Bit long.
And James McGowan on the balance for Westwood. Berea. Will Morrison. Morrison gets by Bean. Riley jumps. Oh, it's going to be foul, McGowan. 10 out of 10 times you see him jump up and come down on the player. It's going to be a foul every time. It's very obvious. And McGowan still has not checked out this whole game.
Yeah, he looks like he needs a break. Will Saint give it to him is the question of the year.
Well, Westwood does it a lot in a lot of practices. They'll do these high-intensity drills at the end of practice for training for moments like McGowan's in right now, being ready for fourth quarter action, being in shape for it, and I think he's proven that he is in shape for it.
I think with McGowan having the ball, it's a good and bad thing. You see it. We need a turning point in the game, and we don't know what's team, but we don't need James to play hero ball.
McGowan, no,
which he's trying to do.
Rogers.
It's going to be Daniele's third.
So it's on Daniele, and he's laughing away at the call. I've seen this official in a lot of games last year, and he loves the controversial calls.
Yeah, I think that's a tough call to make. I don't see it. You know, maybe it's my bias showing, but I personally didn't see anything but, some classic big man kind of hand fighting, and you don't.
And the second is good, and we are tied up since 0-0 for the first time. Westwood came out like 18-2, and just like that, we're right back in it.
Yeah, Foxborough's really chipped away at this lead. Nice little hedge
McGowan nearly loses it. We're under a minute. 19 on the shot clock. Pat Riley crossover dribble and throws it to nobody. Donald Rogers in a hurry. McGowan there to D him up. Rogers to the rim. No good, and it's rebounded by Daniele. Going the other way, Westwood. MJ to Riley. Riley right side and across between the legs dribble. Bean wants the ball on the inside. Riley doing it all himself. Lefty hook is no good. We're going the other way with Foxborough.
That lefty hook is tough to do, especially
it is really tough
when you don't practice it as enough as you have to have that a good shot.
So Foxborough looking for the lead, 4.5 the difference shot and game. And it's a block on Jimmy Bean. And we're going to go to 1-1. So Foxborough has the opportunity to take their first lead of the night with 18 and 5/10 of a second to go in the third quarter.
That'll be Jimmy's third. That's a tough.
It is tough.
It looked like Liam Devlin just kind of slipped on his own sneaker laces.
We said it too yesterday, is that when you have 3 officials, does the game get to a point where it's a little bit over officiated? They all want their fair share of the calls.
Yeah.
So
I just don't want officiating to take over this game because
it's frustrating to see. But the worst is when a game does get blamed on the officials. Riley collects the ball. Shot clock turned off. 15 seconds. 14. Riley at the logo. 10 to go. Riley on the top, listening to a session from St. Martin. Riley, right side, right hand, crossover dribble. The 3 on the step back is no good. Look at from here. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. This is
Rogers
at the horn. It's Donald Rogers, and it's no good. And going into the third quarter, who saw this coming? Foxborough is winning by 1 point, 38-37. So a little bit of a shock hits Westwood that quarter. They started off in one of the best games I've ever seen them, anyone play. Yeah. They come out against this really good Foxborough team, go up 18-2 around something like that. Yeah. And now we're seeing them losing.
Yeah, they need baskets. They need baskets bad. They have scored 10 points in a half of basketball. Second and third quarter combined, they've scored 10 points. And it's tough to watch. Westwood cannot find a call or a bucket for the rest of the night. But it's also unfortunate that Westwood has committed 17 fouls this half already, and they will be giving Foxborough the bonus. And that might be the turning point. That might be the...
It could be a huge turning point in this game, and we said it when Westwood was on their big run, is if they lose momentum, or basically when, because we rarely see 2 great teams come together and momentum not be split. But we've seen that happen. McGowan is really cooled off. I mean, he's shot a lot less, but the amount of shots, the amount of points he's scored, I don't think he scored once in that third quarter.
No, he hasn't scored. He hasn't scored in a long time, and they need that turning point, that momentum shift bucket.
So here we go. It's Berea on the inbound looking for Brennan Board.
What I hope doesn't happen is that key players for Westwood, like Jonathan Ing or Jimmy Bean or Daniele, who all have 3 fouls.
Yeah, the foul trouble's tough.
They're going to get into foul trouble.
So Westwood already with 7, so any foul this quarter will be 1-1. A wide open 3 on the catch is Will Morrison, no good, and it's somehow kept alive by Brandon Board.
You mentioned Board playing bully ball. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Board is just doing whatever he wants at will.
And these refs just refuse to blow the whistle with John Ings on the charge, and these refs have really done a horrible job.
Yeah, they're not.
A terrible foul called on Dylan Berea.
That'll be Berea's 4th.
It was a horrible call. And here's Favor Warboka, the first game back from his trip. He did not play yesterday, and here he is. It's exciting to see him in perk.
It is.
He missed the Medfield game. He missed yesterday's game, and now here he is. McGowan to Riley, right side, dribbles to the left towards the middle, finds Favor on the cut inside to Ing, puts it up and in for 2. That's just what Net Westwood needed in that moment.
That's a beautiful pass from Favor. He finds him with his back turned to the basket. He finds Ing on the roll.
So 1 is the difference now. Westwood is leading. Crunch time has been entered. I do not care what Perk says.
No, I completely agree with you.
Will Morrison with it, deed up by McGowan. McGowan still has not come out, and it's another foul where it's was it really a foul on Pat Riley?
Answer, no, it was not.
And we're going to go to 1-1.
Riley's 3rd as well. That's Westwood's going to get into some serious foul trouble here, which might end up costing them the game. That's a tough call.
Here is, that ref.
It's that one in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Westwood. Yeah, that's...
Is that Will Morrison on the free throw miss?
That was.
Okay. So 6:59 to go. The clock is not started. It still isn't.
Gallagher checking back in for Foxborough. Take out Will Morrison.
So MJ will be the point guard. Turgeon has not been in a long time. MJ with it, getting. I think it was one of those makeup calls where it really was off MJ, but the ref just didn't want to call a foul. I don't know. I don't know. We've seen it all tonight from these refs.
Yeah, we have. It's we've talked about it on past broadcasts.
And he did that earlier. They didn't call a travel, so at least they're consistent. And Pat Riley and Jonathan Ing will get 2.
That's Donald Rogers' second foul on the night, as Ing will get 2 free throws. Calm down and make these.
Ing misses the first.
Just
39-38. Do we have free throw numbers for the night?
We do. Westwood, these are first attempted free throws as the Westwood faithful have their fingers out.
He misses them both.
Westwood is 0 for 2 for the night, and Foxborough is 14 makes. They are 14 for 17 at the free throw line tonight.
Wow, that's impressive.
They've had 17 free throws attempted, which is incredible.
McGowan and MJ, it's the constant foul is Favor. Brings it out. Favor, ooh, could have been a carry, could have been a travel. Favor to the rim, and he gets fouled. Favor took it from the left side all the way to the right in a matter of seconds and had multiple debatable violations missed.
I think you're nitpicking, but at the same time I can also agree.
I think the most one for the fight was the carry. We're not arguing here, but Favor misses the first.
And Favor is known to be not the greatest free throw shooter in the world.
No, he's not. Favor will try again. And
miss.
He missed it.
Try to get that nice friendly roll. Board with it. I like this matchup now that Coach St. Martin has Favor.
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah. Board.
Oh, there's a miscommunication.
Nice jinx.
Miscommunication there between Favor and Captain John Ing.
This is another low-scoring game. Foxborough is up by 140-39. But still, it's a high school varsity team. You can see these games go up 80, 90 points even. I'm really almost certain Westwood dropped 100 last year. Riley with it on the top. MJ, Ing is wide open, puts it up, and gets 2. Would that have been offensive goaltending if it didn't go in?
Defensive? Yes, it would have been.
Defensive, rather, yeah. Ryan Hughes bangs the glass, significantly can't alter the shot. This is board.
Help on the board drive. I think they need to invest in and St. Martin will never do it.
Oh!
No call.
Riley rejects Donald Rogers.
Good no call there from the refs.
Riley coast to coast for 2, and he's showing why he was the MVP last year.
There's that momentum shift that Westwood needs. And going back to that no call from Favor. Favor was not set. He was not set, and it was a good no call from the referees. Gallagher.
Close up by McGowan, 3 on the way by Gallagher's no good, and it's rebounded by Board. Rogers on the take. It's a travel, and they call it jump. Okay.
That's tough.
And it will be Westwood ball.
Westwood basketball.
A quick look at the possession arrow never hurts. 5:03 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Looking at the scoreboard quickly, 6 fouls to 8 fouls.
Yeah, it's a lot of free throws.
Game. Well, that and Westwood now is in the bonus, so it's going to come down to hitting free throws.
McGowan catch. Oh, it was such a travel, and they call a foul.
That'll be Berea's 5th. He is ejected.
Berea's done,
game.
and he's been a key player. Dylan Berea.
Defensively, he's been a key player tonight, and that'll be Berea's 5th.
Good bookkeeping perk. And a timeout, Foxborough. Coach.
You like doing that little pause in between it, yeah. So it'll be McGowan shooting 1-on-1.
So wait, I don't understand what the holdup was there. It was not an official timeout.
No, but they always do it when someone fouls out. Yeah, they always give each team 30 seconds to kind of reconvene. McGowan will have 1-on-1 here. So
James McGowan, Westwood is 0 for 4 from the free throw line so far?
They are. James will.
So Westwood talks about a lot in practice. You want to act like these free throws in a game mentality. So James McGowan can make it a 2-possession game here. Will he do it? No. Westwood 0 for 3 from the line. They could have taken 0 for 5. And I'd almost make that 0 for 6 because then he's missing on another point. So,
yeah.
Gallagher, excellent defense from James McGowan. Board.
Good no call there.
The 3 on the way from Will Morrison is off, and it's rebounded long by James. James in transition with Gallagher on his back. James right to the rim, clutches it, and he misses the layup. It's rebounded by Jonathan Ing. Riley thought about the 3 on the step-in, finds MJ, and MJ is going to reset the offense. Really nice call there by Coach St. Martin.
MJ really resets the offense and gives him another look.
Riley, crossover dribble between the legs, 3 off, rebound to Will Morrison. Pushing it, or I should say slowing it down now, is the senior captain for Foxborough, Brandon Board.
And they go to Gallagher.
Kevin
cross,
Gallagher.
find Board again.
Brandon Board. This is Ryan Hughes. Rogers. This way. It's drawn by John Ing and called on Donald Rogers.
Donald Rogers, that'll be his 4th foul of the night, and John Ing's successful charge yet again.
So Ing has 3 fouls too, so he's taking risks setting these charges.
He is, well, he's gotten called on a couple of blocking fouls that have not been his way. But 3-point lead for Westwood. That's a great play from John Ing.
MJ controlling the offense, leading up. The screen comes from Ing. The roll was there. It was just couldn't get there. MJ, the high off the glass, left-handed layup is good. And Westwood is now up by 5.
Great decision from MJ there. He, the top defender and the bottom defender both sagged off on the roll, and he was able to put it high off the glass.
Board, the shot off the dropback is no good. Rebounded by Ryan Hughes, put up, and McGowan secures it.
John Ing got away with a foul there. I don't know, I could hear it from our point of view. He got away with a big slap on the arm.
So the Westwood gets a break that time. McGowan basically shrugged off by MJ. Riley on the other side for 3, that's good. A timeout by Foxborough coach. Riley is fired up as I've ever seen him on the 3-point make. What is he at now?
Pat has 12 points on the night, and that's his first bucket in a while.
So each team, no matter what, has an MVP. It's a tie-up right now, I'd say, between McGowan and Riley. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but
you could go with John Ing, too, with the 2 momentum changing charges and his 10 points around the rim. But
stats are usually looked at first with MVP. That's the thing.
Yeah. McGowan has 15, but he hasn't scored since
the second quarter. Yeah, and
so.
he started off all in the first. I don't know if he's been teed up more or
he hasn't had a clear look at the rim.
Yeah, teams are going to know that. 14 will be in the scouts as a shooter, and rightfully so.
For Foxborough, there's no real clear MVP. Their scoring is pretty balanced.
The only Board, maybe?
Board has 8 points.
Araya fouled out, so he's not even in this game for the last 3 minutes.
Gallagher has.
Yeah, I think there's Kevin Gallagher.
10. Gallagher has 10 and Board has 8, so those are their leading scorers. There's no clear MVP.
No.
Maybe it'll be decided in this last 3.5.
No, and yesterday there wasn't really one either. So.
Yeah. Both of these teams are very well-rounded. Westwood just happens to have the clear scoring.
And the benefits for us is Perk and I have seen all these teams play, so we, at this point, know in the second round how these teams play. And it's really nice to see how these teams match up against each other. It really is a cool thing. And they call another block on NJ. This ref, I'm telling you, he's blowing close to every single call. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him, but
Mr. Ref, I'd like you to check your phone. You may have missed some calls, meaning a lot of them.
He's just blowing them, Yep. It's just frustrating to see, but
it's MJ's 3rd on the night.
And I'm pretty sure all 3 of them have been attempted charges.
They have been.
So here is number 5, Ryan Hughes, the senior captain, who misses the first. 8 is the difference. Westwood up 48-40 with 2:57 to go in the 4th quarter. So Hughes draws up the second, and he misses them both. So the good free throw numbers are now sliding for Foxborough, as you said earlier. MJ, left hand, finds McGowan on the catch. McGowan, the screen comes on Favor, on the roll, Favor up and long with it. It's rebounded loose. And in transition, here's Kevin Gallagher. Favor on his back. McGowan D's him up. The 3 on the way. No, faked on the inside, and it will stay here.
It was a good deflection. Good challenge by Favor, then a good deflection by John Ing on the baseline. Kind of stop and reset the play.
Goes into Board. Board, this is Will Morrison on the crossover. Wide open Gallagher. He's been the sharpshooter, and he can't get the bounce on the rim. No box up from Westwood, and it will stay here. Coach Shea Martin not too happy there. 2:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Westwood maintaining their lead at 8. It goes into Board again. Board. Forced right. He's a lefty. Goes up with it and gets 2.
That looked like it was tipped from Favor.
And they get it into the last option. Favor. Riley comes away with it. A break there for Westwood.
Favor's the last option on that press break.
Yeah, if he's the center, you don't want to get it to him. McGowan
looked for the shot there. He didn't get it.
Crossover dribble, left side, left hand, and throws it to a blue player. He's been in the whole game. MJ couldn't take the charge. Donald Rogers gets 2.
Yeah, MJ just didn't
1:50 to go.
He didn't
MJ
get set.
leading the floor. Lead pass to McGowan is thrown away, and it will be Foxborough ball.
Westwood needs a basket to change the momentum.
Four is the difference. St. Martin's sitting on at least 4 timeouts, or 3 timeouts rather. I think he's only called 1.
St. Martin's going to use those timeouts to his
Absolutely, yeah.
So, a little bit of a hip check from Ryan Hughes there on the screen.
Kevin Gallagher. And it's an offensive foul drawn by Favor Waraboko. I don't know, when's the last sub for Westwood? It was Favor with a lot of time left.
Yeah.
So St. Martin feels comfortable with this line. It goes into MJ.
Oh, Favor was open on the release.
MJ with it.
You got to look for that pass, that baseball pass.
MJ finds Riley. Riley right side, right hand, through the middle, up, under, fouled by Donald Rogers, rather.
That'll be Rogers' 4th, and he will exit this game.
His 5th, you mean?
Yeah.
Or 4th?
That'll be his 5th. He'll exit the game. Number 14, Michael Devlin, will enter the game for Donald Rogers. Riley will get 2 at the line.
So it's interesting not seeing McGowan play the point guard when he's in. MJ was really taking that over, and I kind of like the look.
I do as well.
Riley
misses the first.
Back rim's the first. The difference remains 48 to 44. Westwood is up, and it will be 2 shots on every single foul at this point.
Yep.
Double bonus for each team. 1:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Riley misses them both.
That's tough. And going back to that MJ being the point guard, I like that look because James, at his core, is a scorer, and he's not really a ball general.
Gallagher misses the 3.
MJ is a ball general.
Yeah. They get it up to Favor. Favor has trouble handling it, finds Riley in the corner, and MJ on the top, and now they're going to set up a play.
They get a basket here. They're really going to shift the momentum in their favor.
MJ to McGowan. McGowan crossover dribble right to left behind the back. Now he's on the right side. Another behind the back. 10 on the 30-second shot clock. Riley pushes off. MJ on the far side of the court. 4 on the shot clock. MJ up, under, no. Rebound is MJ.
Offensive rebound, really, really clutch for Westwood
and
here.
there's 34 seconds left.
They're going to foul.
And a timeout by Coach St. Martin. 48 to 44 to go. 48 to 44. Westwood on top by 4, and MJ nearly just sealed that game. I'm not going to say sealed, but made a really good case for Westwood to win this game.
Yes, MJ made a really, really clutch rebound and made it. And now Westwood has the ball in their court. Not to use a reference that, but now they have complete control of their destiny.
It really won't matter because Foxborough will foul, and a foul resets the shot clock. But 6 and 3/10 of a second is the difference shot in game. So, I mean, you're looking at an instant foul from Foxborough, or you're definitely going for the steal first off the inbound pass.
I'm Foxborough. Yeah, I would foul not Pat Riley or James McGowan.
Well, they both haven't made a free throw yet tonight, so maybe they don't know that.
Right, but you don't want to give them. Those are the two leading scorers for Westwood, and those are the best scorers on Westwood. So they're gonna. Though it's obviously, if you're Coach St. Martin, you draw up a play to get either an open layup right at the rim to seal the game, or get to the free throw line.
Absolutely. So here we go. Connor Daniele checking back in for Favor, and that's the only move that St. Martin made. Westwood ball on the side out. Foxborough's really going to overplay and go for the steal here. The question is can they get it? McGowan screens for MJ. MJ gets it in the backcourt, and the foul comes. It's on Will Morrison. How many fouls does he have?
Morrison, that'll be his first on the night.
Okay. So no effect there for Foxborough. And now we will see
MJ
number one,
to seal the game.
MJ. His first year on varsity basketball is this year, and he hits the first. He did not play last year, and that makes it a 5-point game with 31 and 9/10 to go. So St. Martin's going to play the little game with
offense, defense.
Yeah, offense, defense with Favor Waraboko and Connor Daniele.
It's all matchup based. You want Favor.
MJ hits them both. Ice in his veins. Young Bull has been unleashed.
The young bull has been released.
The three on the way. Fine look is no good, and it's boxed out and secured by Ing. And foul on Ryan Hughes. How many?
Ing will get 2. That's Hughes' first. No one else for Foxborough will foul out of this game. Westwood, on the other hand, has 4 players that could potentially foul out of this game, but it's 20 seconds.
Yeah. 21 to 4 times.
John hits one of these free throws, the game is over.
Ing. Yes.
Gets the first.
7 the difference.
That'll most likely seal the game for Westwood here.
If you're just joining us, this is the Westwood 2019 Invitational Tournament, and Westwood is bound to win it out of 4 teams: Needham, Foxborough, Hingham, and your Westwood Wolverines. We thank you for watching on the Westwood Media Center, and we'll play out the last 20 seconds for you here. Board with it.
They're
Morrison,
looking for a 3 here.
3 on the way. Gallagher is good. 5 the difference.
Timeout by Coach John Gibbs.
It was a really late clock stoppage, too. Let's see if they adjust that.
Get about 9 seconds on the clock.
Oh, 0.9, nice.
0.9? That.
It will be 9 seconds even on the clock.
Yes.
9.1. 9.1.
Okay. If you're Foxborough, do you foul on the inbound?
Well, you really want to overplay the pass. I'm not putting some guy on the inbounder. I'm rather pulling one and putting him on McGowan or Riley. On the inbounds, you want to force the ball into, I don't know who's going to be in for Westwood. It might be Daniele or Favor, but you want to force it into a center.
Yeah.
So 9.1 to go here. 5 is the difference. And you look at these games and you say, was it the scoreboard? Does it really show how close the game was?
Does it affect? No, I agree with you. I don't think it.
I mean, we saw yesterday that Foxborough won by 1 point, and it was like
3. Yeah, it was 3 points, and it was
completely lopsided at the end. They just got 2 buckets. It's been great to watch these tournament games play out for extremely elite teams.
Yeah, all 4 teams have showed promise, and it is still early in the season, and you see how progression will end up here.
So 9.1, Riley on the inbounds, gets it fairly easily into MJ. Ing is open deep court, and he gets fouled by Ryan Hughes, his second personal. MJ will check back in for Connor Daniele.
It's St. Martin we talked about it earlier about having Favor matched up defensively against Board and having the mismatch on offense with Daniele and John Ing.
MJ hits the first on the leading, and Favor checks back in for a smile and Connor Daniele to the bench. Westwood by 6. This would absolutely do it if MJ hits this one. 3 for 3. Can he go 4 for 4? And yes, he can. Young Bull with 10 points and really showing up at the end to seal this game for Westwood.
10 plus those 2 free throws makes it 12 on the night.
Board for 3, no good. And MJ gets the rebound. And the Westwood Wolverines are your 2019 Westwood Holiday Invitational champions. Westwood takes it, being big underdogs coming into it, coming off a loss of Medfield.
Yep.
And really was a great game and tournament played by Westwood.
Yeah. We'll stay with
for the awards. Yes.
Yes, we'll stay with.
Take your two guesses. I'll take mine.
For me, all right. Why don't you go first, and then I'll look over
Westwood, Pat Riley, Foxborough. Let me see the stats quickly. Foxborough would be. Gallagher had 3 threes. Board had 10.
For me,
I'd give it to
Gallagher.
I'd give it to Board.
So all right, yeah. I think it's good that we have different.
It's a McGowan Riley tie up, but I
think you have John Ing at that dark horse position. I don't think he'll get it, but it's completely possible.
Definitely a third. Definitely in third.
6, 12, 15.
I think they're deciding that right now, who the respective MVPs are.
I think I'm going to give a kind of a wild card. I'm going to go MJ. I think
MJ with the MVP.
I think MJ's going to get it for. Oh wait, it's over 2 games, right?
It's over 2 games. So they're discussing that at the table.
It's a tough call. I'm eventually. I think I'm going to stick with James. I'm going to go with James.
Okay.
James, and then on the Foxborough side, I will go Kevin Gallagher, who had 13 points for Foxborough.
So Immaculus, appending the announcement here.
Generally, with these tournaments, you give it to the seniors, but
yeah,
we'll see.
James, I believe, got it last year. 99% sure.
That's not surprising at all.
So here's Immaculus.
Okay, folks, at this time we'd like to honor our All-Stars for Foxborough. It's going to be number 1, Brandon Board.
Board gets the All-Star, or rather MVP, presented by Coach St. Martin. Board played a fantastic game, the senior captain. And it was... And Perk calls it, it's MJ for the MVP. Wow. A wild card pick there from Perk. So we already know those ones. There you go. So James McGowan, I believe he won it last year too. Tournament MVP. On the upside of 60 players, 50 around that area. And Westwood taking home the championship plaque. It's hard for Foxborough to watch, I'm sure, but it's a great sight to see for a Westwood fan. Goes 2-0 in this tournament. So that does it for the tournament completely. It was a pleasure to be with you, Perk, and to call these games. Thank you very much for listening. This was the 2019 Winter Holiday Invitational Tournament. I'm Tyler Murkowski. I was joined by Dylan Perkins, and we're signing off. We thank our sponsors again, the Vanderbilt Club and Nord Physical Therapy. We thank the Westwood Media Center. We thank Mike Gay and everyone at the Westwood Media Center again. Westwood takes it home. Thanks so much for watching on the Westwood Media Center.